Your San Francisco 49ers lose to the Cleveland Browns. Very much a mess of the game. Weather was bad the first half. Ref ball, injuries, whatever could go wrong for the 49ers went wrong for the 49ers. So let's get into this game. But first, let's roll that intro. Hey guys, Dawson Shaw here once again for another 49ers video. I enjoy making these. You guys enjoy watching these videos. Last video did so well. Let's see if we can continue it and all that type of stuff. So let's get into this, right? So this was going to be a weird game no matter what, because in theory, wait, no, it isn't theory, because this is straight factual information. The Cleveland Browns defense is better than the Dallas Cowboys defense. And it didn't even take the 49ers to play them to figure that out. Jim Schwartz is a genius defensively. He has Kyle Shanahan's number. This game was always going to be weird, especially once it was heard that there was going to be rain. And then the quarterback was going to be P.J. Walker, XFL Houston Roughneck legend. So this game was always going to be weird. Offensively, let's start there. I think this is basically where all the problems lie in. Offensively, you were not on your A game. Your first drive was great. It was 49ers football, all the good stuff, Christian McCaffrey, all that type of stuff. And then Cleveland got their stops, got their defensive stops. Trent Williams came out. He has a bad ankle, but he stayed in for this game because of Myles Garrett. And then as the game progresses, this becomes a rough game due to the rain. Both teams can't freaking score. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel get injured. Oblique, I think, for McCaffrey, shoulder for Deebo. And the 49ers offense is built with next man up mentality. I'll straight up say that. But I don't think it's built to be two men up. Two man up. And the way this game went, you're not, the Cleveland Browns defense did not have to worry about Christian McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel in the backfield. They started, selling out a bit. And Brock Purdy had a bad game. Be it the weather in the first half or just was not a confident passer because of the pass rush that the Cleveland Browns were able to pull off from this game. This was Brock Purdy's worst game as a 49er. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Could you say some of those problems were on your offensive line not giving this guy time to throw? Absolutely, but there was times he came out there and he had no pressure in his face, had a clean pocket, he still threw like there was pressure in his face. Off target all the while. Back when Christian McCaffrey was in this game, he overthrew him. He missed a few throws to Ayuk. When there was this tweet that basically said this: when Brock Purdy has the weapons that have been able to help score 30 points, there is margin for error in the Brock Purdy game. Where there isn't guys that can fill that in, the margin for error goes down more, and we clearly saw what happens when there's more errors in Brock Purdy's game. Now, this game is going to be used as ammo to say Brock Purdy is bad. Here's the thing about it. I don't think any quarterback can handle losing basically their two best weapons. Sure, I get it. Ayuk and Kittle were still healthy in this game. Had Jordan Mason, had Elijah Mitchell, had Juwan Jennings, Juice if you count him, but he's more of a blocker right now. But it's your rushing attack basically went away, And it was a horrible game, but I say this about Brock Purdy and his 49ers offense. They still somehow went down that field and got into field goal position. So is there a bit of a hope that you can just say, hey, this offense knows what they're doing? It's just they ran into a playoff caliber defense. Absolutely, right? And there's still problems with Brock Purdy, but, I think this is the funny thing here, right? We have seen so much good from Brock Purdy, we forget his game count a bit, right? Hasn't even played a full season yet. Coming back from UCL injury. You kind of forget that when 30 points are scored, and that should always be noted that this offense did not do his job today. And you can blame it on Jim Schwartz, you can blame it on Kyle Shanahan. The final drive before the Browns took the lead in the fourth was one of the worst drives I've ever seen Kyle Shanahan create. All passes, no running attack to even start the clock. 3 runs would have done better than what he did that drive. Call that drive. Now defensively, I can't say anything bad about this defense today. They did their job. All right, they did their job as much as possible. Were there a few flags they could have probably avoided? Absolutely, but then there's flags they couldn't avoid. How does a guy hit another guy in the shoulder while in the air and get a flag? Makes no sense. It's just a very frustrating game. I'll say this. Let me think what I'm trying to say here as a yawn. I think your defense did your job. They scored as much points as that. I feel like the limiting the Browns to as many points as they did was the best they can do. And does it suck that having as PJ Walker? Absolutely. But say if this was just the Sean Watson in the game, which I think some fans were hoping for, so he could get sacked a lot. But it was just a horrible. Well, it wasn't horrible. It was probably as best as they could do. Let me get off of this topic. Let's talk about this. So offense gets Jake Moody into field goal position to hit a game winner, and he misses. I'll say this. I'll say this about Jake Moody. Right, there's probably some overreactions here, but because the guy was basically perfect. Well, he was perfect before this game. I still do not understand the pick of Jake Moody, especially today where you saw you probably needed an offensive lineman that was better than McKivitz. Or someone that could be trusted to take Trent Williams' place. But you know what? I wait until week 6 to have your welcome to the NFL moment is a very interesting thing, and there's gonna be overreactions. Some of them justify, some of them aren't. But yeah, this was a game from Jake Moody. If this was recorded right after the game, I probably would be yelling right now, but I'm not. I'm fine. Just get these misses out right now. And if he continues to miss, call Robbie Gould. All right, let's final thoughts here. There were times in this game. Here's my final thoughts. The 49ers needed adversity. I think that was the one talking point that has kept being consistent throughout this Brock Purdy tenure, through this win streak, all this type of stuff. When is the adversity going to come in and we can see what Brock Purdy can do? The only adversity was that Raiders game where they won. Let's see what happens after a loss now for Brock Purdy. Let's see how he handles it. Let's see how defenses now handle him. It's going to be an interesting watch. Monday Night Football against the Vikings. Primetime Kirk Cousins on the other side. Going to be an interesting watch here. And the best part about today, I'll say this. The Eagles lost. The NFC number 1 seed is still up for grabs now for the 49ers. It's just a thought there. the season is not over due to one loss. They probably needed this loss. I think everyone would say they needed this loss. Even players, coaches, all that type of stuff. On and off the record. So it's glad they got it out of the way now. Let's see how they respond in Monday Night Football. And it's going to be interesting covering this team going forward. And if you enjoy me covering this team, like, subscribe, comment, do all that wonderful stuff. This has been Dawson Richard, and I'll see you guys next time.